Hey everyone, welcome back to The Five. It's so great to have you here with us this evening for today's taping. Before we get into the show, I'm going to do a little housekeeping. So it's important that, and we would greatly appreciate it, that you choose a thumb, whichever direction you like to go. If you leave a comment and feedback, and that's for us to know if you're liking the content, if we need to change it, switch it up, etc., etc. Also, we ask if you would subscribe, but more importantly, if you would hit that notification bell so that anytime there's an upload, you're notified that something's new is happening. Before we get into tonight's topic, I ask that you stay tuned to the end for a special announcement. All right, here we go. Hey, folks, how are you?
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Everyone's doing great tonight. You look wonderful, people.
Thank you.
So tonight's subject piggybacks off the ending of our last taping when we kind of went into the topic of side chicks. So we figured that that's a topic that we needed to discuss again. The only difference is because we need to be gender neutral, we have changed the topic from side chicks to side pieces because we do know that there are men out there doing the same thing that these side chicks do. Can I get an amen?
Um,
All right. So before we get into it, I took the liberty of getting some definitions and just looking up some things so that we're on the same page. So, the first thing is, why do people cheat? And these are the reasons that Google have listed. Having low self-esteem, feeling unhappy with life or the relationship, trauma, fear, unhelpful patterns of behavior learned as a kid or in previous relationships could all be reasons why people cheat. They also cheat because of anger, self-esteem, lack of love, low commitment, the need for variety, neglect, sexual desire, situations, or circumstances. What are the duties of a side piece? A side piece's main responsibility is to keep things fun and exciting. Now, this is Google, not me. Here are the rules for being a side piece. Are you ready for these? The rules.
Oh.
Google. The rules are to give them space, keep things interesting, refrain from having the talk. You just go with the flow. You don't ask questions. You don't try to spend holidays or birthdays with the other person. You let them get in touch with you first, and you always look your best. Those are the rules and the reasons why people become side pieces per Google. So it had me to thinking, this is a question that I've asked, not just because of this topic, but just in general. Like, why do you think people cheat? Why are there side pieces in general? Going off of your own personal or experiences directly or indirectly. Anyone want to hop on that?
I want to hear the definition from the Urban Dictionary for one. Okay. I know that's probably interesting. And two, black men don't cheat, so I don't even know why we're having this conversation.
Live. Okay. I got a drink on that.
So that's what we doing tonight.
But I think the biggest thing is selfishness. Selfishness. People are selfish. People want what they want, how they want it, when they want it. Morals, values. You're just greedy. That's it. I mean, I think all of that could just be simplified. If people ain't SHIT. Simple as that. Some people just trash. Because when it lands on your lawn, then you truly see what it feels like to put somebody through what, and you don't like it.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
Typically the men, yeah.
That's what we do?
Yeah. We keep it real here at the
I
5.
get it. I think the major thing is just being selfish.
Absolutely.
Being selfish. I would
When
say.
I was doing my little research and Googleations and actually
Googleations.
went into artificial intelligence, AI. It's all about AI, internet. And it gave me those same reasons you gave and a little bit more. I got physical, sexual dissatisfaction, opportunity, temptation, and cultural or personal beliefs. You know, some countries, some cultures, like the Muslim faith, some sects of the Muslim faith, they believe in having multiple wives and or being
But would
extra.
that be classified as a side piece?
I would say no.
Not really.
Yeah, second, third wives, I wouldn't call them a side piece.
I would.
Because it's known. It's known.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a side piece, but
And the other part I got was addiction. They're addicted
yeah.
to sex. It's a whole thing. It's a whole disease, actually.
Yeah.
So, a few reasons why they do it.
I mean,
So-
but everything that was stated is things that can be corrected within your own house.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, sexual desires. I mean, you can role play. If you're not satisfying your partner, then y'all can go into other things. You know, start venturing to do some other spicy things. When you, I'm a firm believer in nobody outside of your house can fix what's going on inside your house.
Absolutely.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Like
So no matter what the problem is, you go into corrections or you leave.
Absolutely. So you wanted to hear the Urban Dictionary definition?
I know this is gonna be good.
Side chick. The other woman, also known as the mistress. A female that is neither a male's wife or girlfriend who has relations with the male while he is in another relationship. Pretty
That's it.
straightforward.
I'm surprised.
That's it.
Pretty straightforward.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. They're usually a little bit more graphic and
Yeah, not this definition.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, so I agree. So Bernice, I mean, you said, you know, as far as Muslim faith and their religion and, you know, first and second and third wives, technically, we couldn't label that as a side piece, you know, side chick. But in our eyes, people that don't agree, that's just, it gives them a reason to have all these multiple partners, you know.
Right.
And I can't speak too much on that because that's not my religion. That's not my lane. I don't know the depths of it. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to speak on that. But those who they have those who are in polyamorous lifestyle, those type of people, that's a whole different other lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different other lane. And so we, you know, that's not a topic that I'm familiar with, but I know enough to know that's not something or an area that I want to dabble in. But to each their own, and maybe we'll save that for, you know,
the whole video. Yeah.
Yeah. As you said, you mentioned something about, you know, having conversation and spicing it up and all this other things as it pertains to the reasons why people cheat, you know, because they're not being satisfied, and which most times is the main reason, right? But I found that a lot of times that's happening because there's not conversations being had. Kudos to those that are actually having a conversation of this is what I like, this is what I don't like. But for I would say, you know, for those majority, and I say majority because of the people that I've spoken to, or the numerous people that I've spoken to, that conversation is not had, and is not being had for the simple fact of feeling ostracized by your spouse. Now, for us, particularly, my age group, sexual conversations were not had, right? And so anything we learned the hard way and our way. And so it wasn't something that you had conversations about and at all. And if you had a conversation, it was so minute, it was pointless to even say you even had it. It was just, what was the point of that? I didn't learn anything. That was stupid, right? And so growing up, until you become free and secure in yourself, I'm not telling my man that I want to do X, Y, Z. And the man saying, well, I can't tell her because she's a what? A good girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She's the good girl. I can't tell my good girl this because of all the things that go on in our heads. And the whole time we're missing it because we're not communicating with your partner. Now, mind you, your partner should be the one you're able to tell anything and everything to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you can't tell your partner about your likes, dislikes, or things you want to do, something's wrong in that relationship. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I'm gonna fall back on that because that can go.
I think it's spot on. I think it's spot on because you have to be you have to be open enough to be able to receive that correction if you're not satisfying your partner. That's not an easy thing to have a conversation about. Because a lot of people get offended. But at the same time, if you look at it in a traditional sense, both of you guys are inexperienced.
Absolutely.
So you're learning together. So you should go into, venturing out, if you're watching movies, if you're, whatever you're doing. I mean, I think we're talking in a sense of later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not in a traditional sense when you're starting out, both inexperienced. And then you're learning as you go. Now, when you're 30 and 40 and y'all get together and, your past experiences shows where you are, it's a gift and a curse for a man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a gift and a curse for a man because you want that experienced woman, right? Where she knocking your socks off. But she learned that somewhere.
And it wasn't from you. Exactly.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's a double-edged sword. So it's like, yeah, she was crazy with it. But she had a lot of practice.
Exactly.
So
or just one good lesson. Either way, that's not something a man wants to even think about or contemplate, which is why women that are experienced keep things to themselves for that exact reason of being ostracized by someone they're laying in the bed with.
Judgment, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
That
it's a tricky place.
Out the window.
Yeah, it's a tricky place.
It is.
Because in a traditional sense, you're supposed to grow together. You're supposed to learn together. You're starting out inexperienced. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. Y'all getting together, and then boom. But now here you come 20 years down the line or 10 years down the line, and you a Superman, and he may not know as much, or you Superwoman, and he just, plain as day. It's hard for you to really communicate that if you can't be open with each other. Especially when one person may not be able to receive that information. And to be honest, like the male ego is way more fragile than a lot of women would think.
Absolutely.
So if you say, hey, because I've read before that, a lot of women through the sexual experience are not satisfied or don't climax. They may say they do, but I've read that a lot don't. That means, but you can't tell Jody and Ray Ray that because they think they done knocked it out the park. Like, yeah, now next thing you know, he like, what?
No one else had that problem.
And there you go.
Let me throw in the church caveat as spiritual women or women raised in the church. I mean, if it's hard enough for regular secular women to talk about it, imagine even from our generation, like from my own experience, I wasn't really told or taught how to communicate about sexual things, especially, you didn't really hear that in the church. I mean, as compared to today, I don't know, every church how they talk, but you don't really hear that. You don't, especially when we were raised. So that sexual conversation as a church girl slash, they have all these labels what a church girl is.
Good girl.
She didn't feel led or comfortable to open that situation, that conversation. And if she wasn't satisfied or she wasn't able to reach climax, how can she say that? Is that even something we can talk about? Is that biblical? Is that even
That's
a
gonna make them
conversation?
cry.
Like, we don't have those conversations. So that's another reason why there's dissatisfaction in the relationship and or marriage.
So I have a question, or I don't know. I guess I would say it's kind of a curveball. So with all that I heard thus far, and if the couple, whether married or not, is not having these conversations with each other, why is it that the man or the female is comfortable with being more expressive and open with the side piece then?
Good
Can I answer
question.
It's still a conversation.
Can I answer that?
So
Maybe they're not having a
What's
conversation.
that?
They just,
Can I answer that question?
Sometimes with the side piece, anything goes.
Let me answer that question for you.
Well, before you answer that, with anything goes, that can be with your wife if you're communicating that, babe, this is too soft, or this is too hard, or this way or that way, or on here or over there, or back there or in the car. Like,
All right.
anything go with your wife too if you're opening your mouth.
are they talking? Or they
No,
just doing it?
See, okay, so no, because the difference is your spouse, right, is the one that you took vows with for better or for worse. You have this person on a different level than you have this person that you just met. So if I'm looking for a side piece, this means I'm looking for a specific side piece for a specific reason. So the moment we have a conversation, however you meet online, which is how people are doing it now, I can text whatever I want behind my phone, ask whatever I want behind my phone, say whatever I want behind my phone. They pick it up. They don't. On to the next one. I can't say what I just said to her to my wife. I can't say what I just said to him to my man because he's going to look at me all kinds of sideways. And at some point, like for instance, I know this couple.
Uh-oh.
I know this couple, not me at all. And I swear I mean that from my chinny chin chins, not me. But I know this couple, the man who wanted to have a threesome, wanted. Wife never did it, but she said, okay, fine. Okay. She did it. And then what happened? Girl was hooked. She was hooked. Now the husband don't know what to do with himself because now he's disgusted. But dude, you brought this situation to her. Why are you disgusted? It backfired on your behind. Now you're looking at her, and which is why a lot of times people keep their innermost secret thoughts to themselves for that specific reason. And the problem is, if we would see, if we would have let God be God and do what he's supposed to do and do the way he said it to be done, none of this would be happening. You wouldn't be more experienced than me. I wouldn't be more. We'd be two virgins figuring out together. But once again, because people want to be people and do what we want to do, now you done had whatever you done did 50,000 times, 5 different orgies, 6 different, 3 different this and that, and I'm over here with whatever I've done, and now we're not balanced. We're not balanced.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Go on, I'm done. Go ahead.
Just to go off of that and take in mind, like, let's say, as well as when the married person leaves for the side piece, just to add on some context, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a conversation about this, and I explained to guys that how one can get jaded by the 20 versus the 80, right? Remember the 80-20, right?
20.
Now you have your home life. You have your home life where you got mortgage, You got dropping the kids off at school, picking them up. You got sicknesses. You got laundry. You know, you got all of these different things. You got real life in your real home. When you with this side person, you just got to be on your best behavior for an hour.
That's it.
That's it. You come together for a specific reason. That's it. You ain't arguing about, you ain't take the garbage out, you ain't. So it's in your mind, it's a pleasant time for our moment together. That's it. We ain't got to worry about, you know, little Ray just got an F. I ain't here for that. We here for this thing, and that's it. So I just got to be good for the time that, you know, and our moments leading up to that, it's about the time that we're about to have. Right? So this over here is all about this sexual moment. That's all it is. Over here, it's real life. The kids are sick. You know, you was late picking kids up, this, that, and third. So you got more of real life going on over here. Over here, you can focus on all of that other whatever. I mean, so I told the guys, I said, you got to be careful, but you shouldn't be anyway. Let's get that. I don't believe in that type of behavior, but you got to think about when you leave this over here and go over there, because you don't really know this person. You're not battle tested. You don't know them. You don't know anything about them. Now, you don't went over here because you liked those extracurricular activities, and you find out that this one over here is all the way garbage.
Crazy.
Yeah, all the way, because you never had to interact with that person in that way, because the only time you're together is for that specific reason. Now, over here, that 80 looked like sunshine and rainbows, because over here, like you remember that. Now she just tearing up my American Express card. She don't cook, she don't clean, she don't do nothing. All she do is shop, because you didn't know her.
Yipper.
You know what I mean? So I tell guys, don't be leaving what you have or sacrificing what you have for what's over there for those, you know, those limited moments, because you don't know these people over here. Keep your family, focus on your family, and do what you got to do. You keep messing with these side pieces, and you sacrifice your family for these side pieces, and you get in a house with them, you're going to realize, like, man, this person is out of their mind. They don't do anything. They don't cook, they don't clean, they're always late for work. You find out their habits are terrible, their mouths is terrible, everything. So just wanted to add on to what you were saying about, you know,
which is why it says the responsibility is to keep things fun and exciting. That real life is not happening. Real life is not happening with that side piece. But let's flip it for a second. Let's flip it for a second. So we talked about the side pieces that are there just for, you know, excitement, fun, and sexual encounters. But what about those side pieces that you meet that there's no sexual encounter, but there's an emotional attachment to?
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Let's talk, because those are the ones that are really dangerous.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where you know, I'm not about to leave my man for no, you know, just because he know what he's doing, you know, within these 20 minutes, hour that we're together. But that one that I'm able to talk to and be free and with, you know, express my deepest secrets, and, you know, whether he likes them or not, he you know, he's there to, you know, to coddle me the right way. And so what about those where your heartstrings are attached? Because again, those are the ones that are dangerous on so many levels.
And harder to let go.
Yeah, and then if you add on the sexual part to the ones that you're emotionally connected to, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So let's talk about those, because that's the good stuff.
Well, I think once it get that far, you're doing too much, because as far as the side piece is concerned, it's supposed to be physical. You know, men are visual regardless of what a lot of women think. I mean, you catch his eye. That's first. If any man tell you something different, it's nonsense.
Yeah,
unless they know you, unless they're in an environment to whereas maybe you the cousin of somebody or
Mhm.
you know you at the cookouts together. But
Mhm.
if a man walking down the street, first thing is visual.
Absolutely. Women too.
Yes, first is visual, and then you go into all of that.
Mhm.
If a man can just get to it, he ain't gonna work. I see women more like, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong because I'm not a woman. I see women more. They would have to have more of a connection than a man would have. Is that
Yeah.
safe to say? Because
Absolutely.
a man ain't got know you, ain't got
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't even know the kid's name. Hey, little Tawana son. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
like, don't even have to know what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
so I think that's more emotional is more on the woman's side versus a man. You do get men that get emotional. You got pillow talkers. You got all of those, but I think that's the minority on the men's side. I think that's
Yeah.
more of a women thing.
I
So,
agree, but it still
Yeah.
happens nonetheless,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? And so what about okay, so let's say hypothetically that it was equal, it was equal, and now all of a sudden, you know, someone wants to discuss leaving their 80 because this 20 right here is I can be myself. I don't have to repeat myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can be me and not have to be scrutinized. I have to second guess what I'm saying, not have to, watch my words because they just get me from the gate. And that's not something that person is used to, male or female. Something, whether you're looking for it or not, it may start it off physical, it may, but when you get to know someone, then and sometimes those feelings they just sneak up on you. They could just sneak up on you, be like, I think I love him. Oh my God, I'm in love with this broad. That type of thing. And then you got chaos, total chaos. Y'all remember the song? Well, I don't know. You may ask. These Haitian girls may not understand this song we're going to talk about right here, but you remember Jack and Jill by Radio?
You gonna give me a couple lines? I thought you were gonna say something like "Saving All My Love for You."
No, honey, no. We talking about no, not that song. We talking
Ain't
about
that
Jack
the
and Jill
cheating
because
song now? Ain't that a cheating song?
yeah, this
How
is
it go?
song by Ray Parker Jr. and Radio, and the lyrics goes: he needed love he couldn't get from Jill. Little Red Riding Hood, always trying to do good, waited as long as he could. Is it right or wrong for Jack to carry on if you leave him home alone too long? This song is about, the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill on the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Jack decides to take his butt down the hill, somebody else's yard, because why? This part is saying, the song is basically saying Jill wasn't doing what she's supposed to. Jack is trying to do his best to be the man he's supposed to, but Jill acting up. Jill is acting up, honey. She ain't cooking, she ain't cleaning. How about her never home? She always kikiing with her friends. When she home, she on the phone kikiing with him. She's never home tending to her man. So what does Jack do? He slides down the hill and he finds Kiwanza. Because Kiwanza, she home because her man, Kiwanda man, she may have just broke up with him, or he may not be home. He may be out with Jill for all they know. Right? The point is, now they find each other and things happen. So what about those? So you have men that are selfish and that just do what they want to do and blah blah blah. But what about the men who tip out because their woman is not doing what she's supposed to do? Because let's be honest, women are not always 100% correct and on the right page and doing the right things they're supposed to. There are some. That's why they have side pieces, because men do what they need to do, women do what they need to do as well.
But then I also have to throw in it too. What about the ones, whether male or female, that it's not always something that's a negative? Like it's
What do
not
you mean?
always, huh?
What do you mean?
it's not always, well, this person is not doing that, this person is not doing that, or it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not always
They're doing it because they want to
negative
do
type
it.
of thing. They just doing it because they want to do it.
But
So
those are
how's
the
that not a negative?
That's that selfish part.
No. What I'm saying, so for an example is, okay, the husband is cheating. Normally it's because, or what we think typically is because the wife is not cooking, or she's not cleaning, or she's not satisfying him in the bed. But what if it's not always what the person is not doing? She can be doing all of those things.
Yeah,
And what
true.
about the man or the woman again that's just have cheating in their DNA?
DNA.
Or it was a
Ah,
thing that was passed down from great
Something else
grandpa to,
past
you know
that.
what I mean? Like, what about
That's that selfish part right there.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Some people just say shit. It's like sometimes you just gotta simplify it. It's just that simple. So some people just ain't
but
rich.
what and what Mika's saying, because and I can vouch for this just simply from the book that I read. There's things that we do. When she said DNA, and they may not just be, it could be spiritual DNA, right? And so there's some things that we do, we don't know why we just did it. Where did that come from? That type of thing. And you wonder and you wonder and you know this is not you, but you still is not stopping you from doing this thing. And so sometimes it's just spiritual DNA.
What's spiritual DNA?
So you've heard the term generational curses?
Yes.
Okay. That's spiritual DNA.
Okay.
Things that
'Cause you
happen.
hit me
Like
with a term. I didn't know what that was. I was like, what?
Yeah, if
It
you're
took me to church.
if listen, this is what I do. If for instance, your grandfather was alcohol, then his father was alcohol, and then you go down all these generations, and 90% of the people were
Yeah,
what?
alcohol
Alcoholics.
or
You
drug
know?
addict.
And sometimes you may have that 10%, that 20% that's trying to fight and don't know how, number one, how it started, number two, how to stop it, because it keeps calling them. Why? Because it's part of that generational thing that they don't know how to get themselves out of. That goes for cheaters too.
Yeah, it's environmental. It's your environment.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
Sometimes.
Me as a man, seeing a lot that I seen, it went from, fathers or grandfathers to fathers to sons, and they picked it up by, when you with your father and you see something going on and you think you normalize a certain type of behavior that shouldn't be normalized. Now you're just carrying on the same thing that you done saw, because it's normal in your environment.
That's how we look at it. But when we flip that thing and look at it on a spiritual level, this is when the generational curses come from in the spiritual DNA. It's the same thing, but we again, you got to flip it and look at on a spiritual level.
Yeah, you can look at it deeper. But like if you pull like I believe in the whole environment thing. I believe in it, where, environments breed a lot of what we see. Where habits repeat. That's where the statement, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, come from. You know what I mean? Because of the environment that it's in.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I mean, we get that. It's just now I've seen videos, because I started to look into the woman side of it, and I don't like to venture into the woman side a lot because I'm not a woman, and I don't, I can't answer like women answer, and I don't, understand from a woman's perspective.
We're gonna help you out.
Initially. No, I'm just saying, like, as far as like the side piece. How do you guys feel about from the men's? Because a lot of times we don't focus on the men and how the men feel in the sense of when things go down. The cheating go down. You know what I mean? I've seen videos to whereas the child come out not the man's, and then the woman get the crying, and they go and coddle the woman. And the man is sitting there crying.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
So it's very dangerous, where one study that just came out recently that said between 30 and 40% of all DNAs tested came out not the testing father.
Mm.
That's
Mhm.
millions of men.
It's horrible. Horrible.
That's extremely bad. I mean, so I looked at it to where it's like taking it away from the gender war, thinking about those men,
Mm-hmm.
like on that side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, men are not just emotional sponges that we just, we can just take it and take it and take it and take it and take it like we Diddy. It's like, no, like this is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it seems like when we address it, it goes into the bashing lane. Like,
Not
it's
on this
hard to
channel.
have no, I get it. I'm just talking,
Yeah, in general, I get
like
it.
me being a podcaster, when people come on and they're talking about things from the woman's lane and a man is leading the conversation, it automatically gets shifted into the bashing and blaming game when it's like we can't have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
I just had this conversation with my brother like a couple hours ago where he was, talking about a situation, and when it's him, it's one thing, but which is negative. But if it's flipped to the other side, then you want your kudos and your props and your good jobs, that type of thing. But if when a man does it, it's for a different reason, right? And it's not equal. It's not it's not reciprocated. It's the same benefits, the same tone, not reciprocated. And so, which is why we make it a point to remain neutral. Again, we have two brothers. We've seen chicken heads in action. I'm not always going to side with the chick. I'm just not. If I had bad
Definitely
brothers
not.
and it was a reverse, and I do right. I side with right all the time. I don't care who's who's on the other end.
that sisterhood is strong. That sisterhood is strong.
It's strong and it's horrible. Woo. I'm not defending you, taking your side, being in your corner. If you're wrong, whether you're my blood sister or my girlfriend, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Trifling chick, absolutely not.
I can't deal. We can't be friends then, because I'm not going to be I'm not doing it. I'm staying on the side of right at all times. And if God gets involved in it, it's even 100 times worse, because I'm not switching. I can't. What kind of minister would I be if I just took sides? What kind of person are you if you just take sides just because she has estrogen? I can't do it. I can't do it. So here in the 5, which is why we changed this topic from side chicks to side pieces, because we always gonna be gender neutral. Always. That's just
I can
how
respect that.
That's just how I feel.
Facts.
Because these women, the side chicks, ain't being side chicks by themselves. They gotta be side chicks for a reason. And vice versa.
So Nick, when I was researching the flip side on why women would cheat, or why she would cheat, the number one reason was that emotional piece.
Mm-hmm.
The top 2, emotional. Number 2 was lack of attention.
Always.
The top 2 are why a woman would cheat.
Absolutely. I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. Because there's men that are not emotionally available. They're too occupied with other stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But same token, it could be flipped. Yes, S.
That's what I was about to say, because like, I understand hypergamy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women like men that make equal or above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
For sake of argument.
Yes.
We like these 6-figure conversations, you're 6, you're 6, and you're 6, and you're 6, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a man that's in the top 10%. He's a more assertive man on a working end. So he's not going to have all the time that you may want. He's
Mhm.
probably not going to be as available as you want him to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not going to be the long stroker that you want because you know, you're working 12 to 16 hours a day. You're tired. You want this money though. You want somebody that make $150,000, $200,000 a year. That come with sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't get everything.
Absolutely.
Like someone, a man that make $150,000, $200,000 a year. He's Superman in the bed. He got a 10-inch or 12-inch. He got a house on the hills. He got a house on the beach. He drive a Bentley. He ain't got no kids. He he write poetry. He know how to sing Maxwell songs. He wear pink when you wear pink with him. He give you piggyback rides. All of these different things.
So specific.
Trust me, it's not gonna happen.
It's
not gonna happen.
It's not.
You get this guy that work his behind off, he's gonna be tired. When he come home, you ain't gonna get everything that you want. He's not gonna be as assertive if you want him to be. He's not gonna be as emotional as you want him to be. He's some of that is trade-offs, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice some things, just the same as the man.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to sacrifice some things. So a lot of people don't understand that. They just want what they want, when they want it, how they want it, and that's it. And if you don't satisfy what I want satisfied, whether it's physical or financial, I'm out or I'm cheating. I'm gonna get it somewhere else.
Which is why I say all that you said and just incorporate balance. You could still be busy and work and make the sacrifices, but it can't be all or nothing. And in the situation in these cases are the men that are working, they just see that one thing, the money, and they lack the balance. And then
You have to be intentional. Absolutely.
Lives. And then the women are left home lonely sometimes. And unbeknownst to them, they're going out, they're going to the supermarket, and the first person that gives them a look, they're like, and there it is.
Yeah.
It's just
filling voids.
Just balance it. That's it.
Yeah. Filling voids. I mean, when you got the weekend, you got vacation times, you got all other things, but like you said, it has to be balanced. It has to be balanced. It has to be sacrifices. It has to be respect. I mean, you have to understand that you're not going to get everything 100% the way that you want it. It's just not going to work that way. If you think that it worked that way, you're in a fairy tale. Might as well let somebody write the movie on your thought process and let's get this money with Warner Brothers.
Lifetime.
80-20, that goes for women also. It's not just for the men, it's for the women also.
Yeah, I'm just speaking in general. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. It's terrible.
Relationships are intentional. Marriage is intentional. Things you want and desire are intentional. You just don't get it, and then go like what you did to get it is the same thing you have to do to keep it. And sometimes, in most cases, even more.
Yes, absolutely.
So you just can't, okay, I got her. She good.
Yeah, you gotta put the work in.
You have to be intentional. You have to be.
And like I always say, and I don't know if I say it right or if I say it wrong, but I always say it. I hope people don't be laughing at me. But I'll be like, faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
Am I saying it right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I was like, oh, if I'm saying it wrong, people like, oh, he sounds stupid. Get out of here. You don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to have faith, and you have to have, and that's what relationships are based on, faith too. I trust you to take care of this heart that I gave you. I'm trusting you. The moment you don't want this heart, then by all means, tell me. It's gonna hurt, but I'd rather you tell me than me sneaking up and I find out.
And then there's the cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Which I can't. I never could stand that phrase. Because it's my cake. It's my cake. I should be able to eat my damn cake.
As many slices as I want, right? At one time. I know that's
it's mine. It's my cake. I get it. But I always say, that statement, I don't like it. Well, I get it.
Take what you have left over.
Huh?
But sometimes you want a slice of her cake and a slice of her cake and just stick it into your cake. It don't go
all the cakes.
Stick it into your cake.
I shall.
You gotta Stick it into your cake.
Everybody want all the
Yeah.
cakes.
I
Yeah,
like how you did that.
Uh-huh.
I get it.
Doesn't this
But-
also arise when you begin to take people for granted? When you get to when you think, okay, like you said, I got her, you did all this stuff to get her or get him, and then you become comfortable in your relationship.
You get
Mhm.
You will
complacent.
that they're always gonna be there that way every day, every day, every day, and your attention goes elsewhere to what you think is more important, i.e., money, the job, which it is. And then you take that person for granted. There's no more date night. And then the kids, oh, don't start having kids. Now the kids have all the attention. And then there's no couple time. And then it's year one. Now it's 5 years. And it's 15 years. And you're wondering, oh, where did side piece come from? You took the person for granted. You got comfortable.
Yeah, and I heard it. I heard in a counseling session from
Yeah.
a man. They were talking about attention. And I noticed how attention to some women is so huge.
Very.
It's huge. Where he said that there was a couple where one of the wife or the girlfriend ended up, she got a BBL, right? She got it shaped, and she was a quiet, simple woman, whatever that means. But that was that. I'm speaking verbatim. Didn't go out, anything. Got this BBL, and then started getting all this attention. Started getting all this attention. And now we started to go out. Now we started to hang out. Now we started to, all of these new habits started to form. And he had to end up leaving because obviously, things went left. But it was all about the attention that she started getting. Do attention really drive? Really?
For a female, absolutely. Well, that was how you got her to begin with. You gave her your time and attention. So you got her.
But like you said, being attention, it also came with things and stuff and date nights and vacations and all of these different things. If you're the
Some women
side
don't care
person,
about that.
that's what I'm about to say. The side person now don't have the access to do what I've done in the open, right? So is that attention, and maybe everything slowed down because now they had children and they had, home, and they had to take care of home, and they had to, all of these other things. But this attention, that all it was, from inboxes to text messaging, it was just attention. And like I said, these little clips in time that they may have, possibly, because nothing was said about catching, anything crazy. But the attention drew her. We left. And it was like, so I was like, is that paramount? Is it that?
That could have been her love
Absolutely.
language. That could have been her love language. Everyone had their own love language.
I was just
But to
getting ready
make you lose it, to make you lose your marriage without any like true validation or proof, like that's strong.
Well, I mean, again, it depends on that person's love language. And if attention and quality time is that person's top love language, then yeah, because at the end of the day, you think about it, yeah, it feels good for your husband or your lover to purchase and give you gifts. But at the end of the day, I can buy my own gifts.
Just come home and smack me on
And
the
know
ass.
I love myself because I done came in the house with 10 shopping bags that I purchased myself. But if I'm coming home with these 10 shopping bags and I still don't have the quality time for somebody and the attention.
Yeah, I get it.
Let me tell you how.
Let me
tell you how important attention is. And it's not just to women. Attention is important to everyone. Just like when you have children, right? Who are considered bad children, misbehaved children. The only time they get attention from their parents is when what? They act in a fool.
That's attention.
Negative attention is better than no attention at all.
For the most part, yeah, I get it. But
Right.
wouldn't you think that with the woman or the man that's getting the attention, right? And let's say they move on and they leave with that person with the, that was given the attention that they wasn't getting from the home. What type of character does a person have, right, to intervene with this marriage? What do you think? What you think? What type of person that you're now joining with? Because of like they say, real men, real women. Somebody with true character. I'm like, I would never deal with a married woman.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do that.
Mhm.
So if you was to leave him to come with me, would they always say you
Sideways.
yeah,
Mhm.
you're gonna lose him how you got him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
most times,
So
yeah.
now I'm joining myself. I'm joining with this woman who ain't shit either, because you cheating on your dude.
Mhm.
And now I
you
think that
trust her.
I'm just Idris Elba mixed with Denzel, mixed with Genuine six pack with you know what I mean, like with the good hair, with everything. I'm just this guy. I'm all of this wrapped in one person. That you ain't
Not
never
yellow.
gonna
Don't
do
make
this
him
to me.
yellow.
You
I
ain't
guess
never
it
gonna
fall
do this
back.
to me.
I guess it fall back to, like you said earlier, it's the selfishness. That
But
person.
you can't be that naive to think that the
You
way you
can.
got her, that it's never going to happen to you. It's the
You-
character of the person. It's the moral compass of the person.
But do cheaters always cheat? Maybe it could be circumstantial.
I believe in growth. I believe in growth. I believe that somebody that cheated can grow into something to where they never cheat again. I believe
It
that.
could be one of those cases.
If they
We-
choose
Could
to.
be. Could be. Am I willing to roll the dice?
Nope.
Nope.
Absolutely.
I like
Nope.
my money in my pocket. I don't like to gamble.
Not gonna do it.
Mm-mm.
Not
So
gonna
it's
do it.
would they willing to even go to counseling to see if they can, remedy this attention part that the husband was able to give her that attention that she was lacking? Were they willing to actually work on that, or was it just
Say it again, because we missed the beginning
I
of your.
got most of what she was saying. No,
Okay.
it went to anger. And once anger intervened, everything blew up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything blew up because, your man know you. So when you start seeing these little tweaks start happening, it's like, hey, what's going on here? So instead of going into counsel and correction, it went to anger.
wow?
And then there was no fixing it. And like I said, it was really no occurrences that really happened to where it was, where I caught him cheating or I caught her cheating. It just everything, you saw the red flags. And it was like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? So it's sad because the child was involved, but
How long were they?
I didn't realize like attention like that. It was just attention, and it was like, woo. And maybe it was attention from because I see y'all sometime, right? I see y'all sometime. Attention from Flavor Flav ain't the same as attention from Genuine.
Absolutely not.
Attention from Flavor Flav, like, man, get out of here with your funny looking self. And then here come Genuine, give you the same attention. Like, boy, you better stop. It ain't the same.
But I've
Even
learned.
though Flavor Flav's attention could be genuine.
You still
Right.
don't want it because it ain't from the person that you want it from.
But as you grow older, I'm gonna say differently, because as you grow older and mature, what you
Flavor
go
Flav.
for physically
Mhm.
might be the
Change it.
genuine.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you may just have to.
But that's
it's-
getting to know somebody. We're talking about interacting. I got to meet you first. We got to connect first on site and then conversation.
See, women are different.
Most
You
times.
may or may
Ain't
not
none of
be,
y'all gonna give Flavor Flav y'all number. Somebody that look like Flavor Flav. Y'all gonna be like, I'm good, brother.
but if it's the
I ain't giving
conversation
nobody my
piece.
number. Not
If he
even Genuine.
if he has good rap game, if he can talk, it could go that way.
Don't
Intellect,
come that
honey.
swag
I
do
don't know
grab
about
you.
Flavor Flav, Bernie.
Y'all
Intellect.
gonna
I don't know
stop
about
playing.
that.
Intellect.
Sometimes the swag do
Though.
grab you.
It does.
Yeah.
Even if he-
Maybe Michael Blackston, not Flavor Flav.
No.
I'm gonna need you to stop playing.
Well, you know
Okay.
what? He
That's
not
how I
too
just
big.
stop playing from the
prefer
gate.
Flavor
Stop it.
Flav
You
than
know
Michael
better.
Blackston.
Michael
You know that.
Blackston not
Oh
big.
no, I'm
He's
searching.
funny though.
I'm
So he's
I'm
funny. So
reaching.
so
I would talk to
depends on
Flavor Flav
age,
before I talk
maturity.
to
Huh?
Umi. I would talk to Flavor Flav before I talk to Michael Blackston. I'm just saying.
The point is,
That's just my preference.
Michael Blackson, we love you. We love you. Watch this video one day. We love you. Okay, you funny. You the funny mother sucker. I swear. But no. So when you get, hopefully when maturity comes in and you realize it's not all about looks, because looks didn't get me anywhere when I was going after person just because of their looks. That was, honey, that was pointless. Like that was just
I agree.
trash. Now when I talk to someone, okay, yeah, something has to catch my attention for me to have a conversation with you,
Absolutely.
right? Maybe. But let's say you sit down, you talk to someone, not your type physically, the type that you used to have, but that conversation, boy,
Yes.
stop talking to me
Come
like
on.
about that
And
science.
he have a sense of humor.
I agree.
Yes.
I
He
agree.
don't have to look the best, but it's just the intellect alone.
I
Yeah.
agree. You don't have to look the best, but you ain't gonna take the worst. Because you still gotta look and live with.
If the
Why
worst,
you need to take the
if
worst?
the worst talks to
You're not
me
gonna stop
and
playing.
shows me respect and love better
Ain't
than
gonna
that
happen.
one that was fine,
Ain't gonna happen.
how do you know?
But the worst
Ain't gonna
might
happen.
not be Flavor Flav. The worst could
Stop
be
using Flavor Flav for
Michael B. Jordan. The
You're gonna
worst
get-
could be
Michael
Michael
Jordan
B.
ain't-
Jordan.
But we ain't talking about Michael B. Jordan. We talking about the worst being Flavor Flav. You trying to create your worst, and this is my statement.
Michael B. Jordan could be the worst because he ain't cute.
No, Michael B. Jordan gonna be the best.
He gonna be my worst because I don't find him attractive. But
Me neither, girl.
I mean, not finding
But
somebody attractive and them being, because I don't find some people attractive, but they not ugly. They're just not my type.
Exactly.
But if
Absolutely.
Flavor Flav, if he smell good, his swag on point, he's dressed nice, he looks nice, and his
You know,
conversation on point,
He gonna show up with that clock and them bull horns, and you gonna be like, man, you don't get your ass out of here. With them gold teeth. Let's stop messing with Flav. Sorry, Flav. I was just joking. I was
We
just
gonna
playing.
get sued.
we
But
done
Michael
said his
Blackson
name
and
too much.
Flavor
in the
Flav.
clip.
Yeah.
Some image. You don't know how he is indoors or behind the scene. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
he could be the bomb.
Delicious saw
Yeah.
something.
I mean, New
That's
York
Yeah.
loved him. New York
Boy.
loved herself some Flavor Flav.
What?
He kind of cheated. That's why he was on trying to find him some love.
Yeah, he had hoops. I was jealous.
There you go. So
Hoops was bad.
yeah, Hoops is very pretty.
Yeah.
That one of the other chicks from the show.
I don't
they
know
probably had a
Delicious.
conversation behind the scenes, and they made a connection.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think he's
Nah.
a stupid man.
But he's still single.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
I just
But I know us on site. I know, you know.
All right. With that being said, folks, we're gonna stop talking about Flav and we're gonna stop talking about Michael because we don't want them to see this video one day and then sue us.
It's
right?
no love lost.
I'm
Everybody have
gonna
an
send
opinion.
them to.
So
I'm gonna give him
They
Roshan's
can't
information.
sue you on your opinion.
I'm
They
gonna
can
give him
come
Roshan's
on.
information, and we're gonna wrap it up. With that being said, tonight's episode was awesome. Great conversation. I think we covered and broke down the tip of the iceberg, right? We tipped the iceberg, but the good part is that there will be a part 2, ladies and gentlemen. The part 2 will be coming to you live.
And Flavor Flav is gonna be here.
Special guest. That means
Disclaimer.
that means that will we be posting our Zoom link? It will be on the third Thursday in September,
19th.
which is the 19th, I believe. My sister just said we'll post the Zoom link on our stories. Pop on in and we'll get this conversation started. The topic will be side pieces too, because there's a lot that we didn't tap into. There's a lot. We need to talk about, children, how they affect marriages and relationships. We can dive into polyamory, however you want to take it. So with that being said, we invite you to come back with us next month. We look forward to seeing you. Remember, pick a finger, write a review, subscribe, hit the notification button. Until next time, we will see you later, and we thank you for joining us tonight. Peace out.